This week on C Plus News Time, Ben Stiller is developing a Showtime miniseries, someone is writing a biography of Lorne Michaels, and Epix is taking care of America's gender problem through the use of a documentary. Hopefully they'll also take a look at why it's not cool for me to wear lady short shorts. What? I like the way they make my quads and my hammies look. Alright, take a look at this. C Plus News Time.
It's C Plus News Time with your host, Chad White.
Welcome back to C Plus News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the comedy news you didn't know about for the week of January 25th, 2016. Pussy Galore is both the name of a Bond girl and of my new cat shelter. Before we get started on the news, there was one big story from Nickelodeon HQ when it was revealed that the network, Paramount, and Jared Hess of Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre fame are creating a Nicktoon team-up movie. What does this mean exactly? You'll finally see the characters from Rugrats, and All Real Monsters, and Ren and Stimpy, and Rocko's Modern Life, and the Angry Beavers together in one movie. This comes months after Nick announced that it was going to have a proper finale to Hey Arnold. But really, this movie is nothing without the rest of the Nicktoons like Arnold, the Wild Thornberrys, Doug, or Cat Dog. Which brings me to my next point. Do we really need to indulge in the 90s mentality? It seems as though the decade is coming back into the forefront a mere 16 years after it ended. Now let's face it, they won't be able to appease everybody. I mean, I just said that this movie is nothing without the other 4 out of the other dozen shows that they've made. Perhaps they should just leave well enough alone and focus on creating new shows. Nick is losing to Cartoon Network in terms of originality, after all. Our first story follows Ben Stiller, as last year Stiller began developing an adaptation of the book Super Sad True Love Story for the small screen, and now Showtime has gained the rights to help develop it. Variety reports that Stiller will direct and executive produce the series. The book is a different take on American values, such as the nation's strange obsession with youth, atrocious political values, and our insistence on oversharing on social networks. Next up, a Lorne Michaels biography is in the works. Hot off of the heels of his WTF interview, the New York Times reports that the book publisher Random House has acquired a biography to be written by Susan Morrison, a New Yorker article's editor. The book will of course take a look at Michael's life from the early years to Canada and his comedic baby Saturday Night Live. Morrison is no newbie to comedy writing game. After all, she was hired by Michaels for the NBC series The New Show back in 1984 and edited SNL writers like Steve Martin at her current job. Said Morrison, "It'll be interesting to look at how the show has dealt with the creep of political correctness, how it reflects shifting attitudes towards race, women, and other political issues." And finally, speaking of women, Epix will be airing a documentary series, or docu-series, about Hollywood's biggest issue, gender. On March 8th, also known as International Women's Day, the 6-part series will premiere. It's titled The 4%, Film's Gender Problem, and it comes from Stacey L. Smith's research of the top grossing films between 2002 and 2014. In it, we'll learn about female directors of the time, who Smith concludes face a very real fiscal cliff as they pursue the highest echelons of this industry. Many celebrities appear in the short series, including Kristen Wiig, Judd Apatow, Paul Feig, and America Ferrera, among others. And that's all the news I have for you for this week on C Plus News Time. Why don't you subscribe and like one of our other videos? You can always head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where we've got the latest news, reviews, comedy features, comedy interviews, comedy, of course, and all the other things that only I can provide you. And of course, you can always follow us on Twitter at cpluscomedy. You can follow me on Twitter at ChadBlackWhite, and always like us on Facebook, tumble with us on Tumblr, and that is the end of that chapter. I'm sure somebody famous or cool once said that, and not just me. I'm neither. Goodbye.